Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushua, Ba'Hashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the few sisters out there onto the Israelite foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show through the spur of Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahushua. Something to consider. Something to the extent of this, what you see right there with your own eyes. This is from Russia Today. It's a good news news front, but the main thing, it says Russia could consider changing nuclear doctrine, right? Now, I was gonna look it up, but I don't have to look it up. You had Putin declaring, or Russia openly declaring America to be the enemy. Alright. And with Russia considering America the enemy openly, which is the first time in history, we're getting closer and closer to this great war. All right. Now the buzz, obviously today is what, the 11th. Hunter Biden found guilty, was good for him. But Russia declaring the U.S. an enemy openly, one mega power to another mega power, that says a lot right there. All right, that says a whole lot. So we entering new phases in this thing of ours. Now here in the streets of America, in the shores of America, it may not seem like nothing much is changing, but the change comes gradually, and gradually enough that once all these changes take full effect, what I mean enough, because you simultaneously have BRICS. I believe Turkey joined BRICS, which Turkey is part of NATO. Obviously, BRIC nations are talking about dropping the US dollar. Well, all these things are happening. They're happening in due time. And slowly, but for surely, everybody is going to be affected by this real soon. Now, they use the terminology of inflation as really things are not that expensive, but you're paying heavy taxes. You're paying more money than you should be because of heavy taxes. The product is the same, but you're paying more because the dollar is less. And proving that there's a economic warfare going, and there's more sorts of different wars that's taking place. Now, according to things was happening, you have Russia shipping certain things to this side of the world, Venezuela, which are rich in oil, to eliminate, basically is a strategic strategy to eliminate America's input. So there's a lot of things going on. Matthew's real quick, 24 and 7 or 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. So we're hearing of wars. We know which Taiwan, China, that's a rumored war. But we know about Russia, Ukraine, and the proxy that is America, because the proxy is just America using Ukraine to attack Russia. And Russia is pretty much done annihilating Ukraine. So this is the time frame we have been for a long period of time. And things are getting tighter and tighter. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we're not fully at the end, because the major prophecy that needs to take place is what? The RFID microchip. Okay? The microchip has to do with, that's the end all to be all, because that's dealing with, in a global sense, everybody around the world that's going to be tempted with this thing. You cannot function without the Revelation 13:16, the MOTB. You won't be able to function any place around the world without that. So we know that that's the prophecy of prophecies. What is, real quick, since I said that, St. Matthew's 24 and I don't know why I can't remember. I think I gotta go up. Should be up here. 14, Slacken. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Talking about all the different nations. Alright, which is 18 nations, biblical nations. So everywhere these nations are under the heavens, this gospel is going to be preached, meaning camps will spring up as a witness. It says, and then shall the end come. So when this thing really started to rev up, when the true gospel was spread. Gospel meaning the good news. The good news is what? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the biblical Israelites that the Bible speaks of. That's the true good news. All right? And since we are the sons of God, and the sons of God been denied for a long period of time, this gospel, once it was done, I mean not done, but once it was spread, broken down the right way, then all these things are happening. A couple years ago, World War III was not even a thought process, but that's the norm now. All right, now going to Russia, Obadiah, real quick. Obadiah 7. All the men of that confederacy has brought thee even to the border. What is that border? That's talking about the Levant, the area in the Middle East. There's a great gathering that's taking place in the Middle East. Okay? All nations are invited. It says, the men that were at peace with thee had deceived thee, which is going into the small hatters, because all these things are leading everybody to enter the Middle East because of the small hatters and the things that they're doing in that land, which what they're doing is committing, saw with a G and with a S in that land. They have deceived America. They have deceived Babylon the Great. Because who's pushing these things to take place in that region is the small hatters that's in the position of power here in America. All right, all the people that's in leading a position in Congress so happens to be a small hatter. Their investment is into that land, so they're being deceived of thinking that they ain't gonna get in a better case than that they are. It says, and prevail against thee, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. And that definitely talking about the small, that welfare state, which received billions of dollars of U.S. hardworking money for their cause. All right. Also, talking about Russia at one point, after the fall of the Soviet Union, was receiving aid by America. All right. Now they about to lay a heavy wound on the ones that aided him. Okay? It says, under thee, there's none understanding in him. Yeah, there's no understanding in the elites. Okay? There's no understanding in the people that's in position of power. Now, I always bring this out. Let me get this real quick. Jeremiah 50 and 24. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou also taken. What is a snare? It's a trap. Alright, what is this trap that's being set up? The pride. The scripture says, the pride of thy heart has deceived thee. So this place believed that there's always going to continue forever. Right? That nobody can stand against them. But more and more every day, people are coming against this land. Because what? The Lord has laid a snare, a trap. O Babylon, that was not aware. This is why you have, what? Millions of migrants in America. That's coming from healthy men, army age men, that's in the shores of America. The border pretty much collapsed. You have an invasion army and you have no idea what's going on. A good movie to watch, I might watch that today. Damn, it's called with the Wolverine. Red Dawn. In both versions, Russia was the first one was aligned with Cuba, and the second movie there was aligned with, I believe, North Korea. But either or, Cuba, the one with the Cubans was very important because when you go into the history of the Cuban Missile Crisis, Cuba became the same political party as Russia, a communist state, and that was right there in the backyard of America. Now, ever since then, Fidel Castro and so forth and his brother never really aligned themselves with America till recently. So the recent news is that Russia and Cuba, their relationship has became more stronger. And I mentioned Venezuela. All right. So here you have it right at your backyard. Your greatest foe, who just publicly declared war against you or considered you an enemy, is at your backyard right now. And all the other nations that can't stand you is right there at your backyard. And just because you have an alliance with these nations via the UN, your land is being invaded in the guise of immigrants. So the Lord has set up a beautiful trap for this place, and we're seeing this being fulfilled. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast strive against the Lord. The root cause of everything is what America has done to the Lord's chosen people, which are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. This is the root cause of everything. This is why the Lord is about to bring heavy judgment on this land. A judgment that's never been seen in human history. So this place is going out with a dramatic ending, which leads to that same thing, how you've been called out. Alright, and it says, back in Jeremiah 15:25, the Lord have opened his armory, have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. What is that work of the Lord? Alright, what is his weapon, his main weaponry? Isaiah 34 and 17 or 16. I'm sorry, 54. 16. Behold, I've created a smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, which is talking about that smith is talking about the scientist. From Oppenheimer, Robert Oppenheimer, what's this guy's name? Famous scientist, EMC square guy. I can't remember his name for some odd reason. Alright, all the small hatters that was from the land of Teman has split the atom, and by them splitting the atom, have created a weapon of mass destruction. So this is the Lord's ultimate weapon that He's about to bring on America. Because when you see Putin, Russia basically saying that they openly call America the enemy, that's not in a good sense, because Russia's army or nuclear capability is far greater than America. Even its submarines are far greater than America, undetected. So they're already surrounding America. So this place is about to be destroyed. Alright? There's just few prophecies left. It says, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, which is his ICBM nuclear missile. From going to one continent to the next continent. Alright? Arrows you can't even fling arrows from one state to another state, let alone a continent. So this is the work of the Lord. This is part of His armory. Okay? For His work. And I've created the waster to destroy. So this is the waster. This is the destroyer of worlds. So the Lord propped up Babylon's greatest foe to waste it. Alright? So things are about to get real drastic. Internationally, it's drastic. It's going to get more drastic. But domestically, things are going to get even more drastic because of what? The things to come. So, like I said, we're something real quick to the Spirit. Just keep your eye on the prize. We're almost out of here. Shalom.